Good morning, and welcome back to the second episode of Better with Becky and Sammy. Well, life is just a little better with Becca and Sammy. I am your co-host, Samantha. I am a PhD candidate at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and my research mainly focuses on genetics. And Rebecca, why don't you go ahead and introduce your bright and sunny self?
Hey guys, I'm Becky, the other part of this podcast. I am studying dietetics at the University of Georgia. Can I get a go, go, woo, woo, woo? And I love everything about food and nutrition. And today I'm very in a avocado mood. I have an avocado shirt on, I have avocado AirPod case and notebook, and I have avocado toast today.
I actually had avocado toast for breakfast this morning, and because you're repping your clothes, go Braves, what up, hey bravo. So, how have you been? It's been a week since we did our last podcast. I was so excited because I didn't know we could actually do one, and it was quite successful. So, how have you been?
I've been ecstatic. Okay, SAT word. Anyway, I actually found this new spice called turmeric or turmeric, and it's yellow, and I've been cooking with it and experimenting with it. I've been really big on trying to eat, nutritious, but also giving my taste buds a little bit of fiesta. Are you having a fiesta with your taste buds, Sam?
I sometimes be fiesta, but is this the same yellow turmeric that's currently all over mom and dad's kitchen?
I told them that I painted their counters yellow. That's the new color.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was quite an update, Rebecca. I'm glad that you're having a good time over there exploring your culinary skills. Here in Nebraska, I've just been writing my little heart out, trying to finish up my dissertation in my last couple months here in grad school. So I want to thank the audience for listening, and for a small disclosure, we are here for entertainment purposes. We are not professionals yet. Rebecca is working towards it. However, if you do and are seeking information, more personal information about workouts and nutrition and body, make sure to contact your general practitioner, a registered dietitian, or a personal trainer. You also can find us on all the listening podcast devices linked below, and currently on Becky Are Fit, her personal YouTube channel. So before we get into our topic of our podcast today, Rebecca, did you see Jeffrey just dropped his newest collab? Oh, no. His newest makeup palette.
Jeffrey dropped a new makeup palette?
Yeah, but it's not just what is it? Collection. That's the word I want to use. His makeup collection, and it's the cremated. It looks awesome. It's black
cremated
and a lot of gray tones. So, have you seen it? What's your thoughts?
Wow, that's a buzzword. I didn't know that he dropped a makeup palette until you sent me the ironic social media platform, YouTube. I looked at it and I'm like, wow, anything that Jeffree Star does, I'm like, oh, sign my name on it. I want to look fabulous. The highlighter that I am sponsoring today, I'm very jealous that you got the Bloodlust palette. The highlighter that I'm wearing today is sponsored by, well, I wish I was sponsored by Jeffree, but I am wearing his highlighter. I'm going for the gods, but yeah, I think his palette is pretty neutral colors. You can wear it on a day-to-day basis. Have a little hidden diva, it's great.
Yes, I also really do love all of Jeffree's work that he did in his company. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce our topic of the day. Now, this topic, we actually tried to fit it into one podcast. We found out we were talking way too long. So it is part one of a two-part series, and it is fitness influencers. So the first part we're going to talk about today is what is a fitness influencer, what platforms are they on, and the different categories that you see of fitness influencers and our second part series, which will be in the future. We'll discuss if these specific influencers are positive and influential to overall health and fitness to their audience. But today we're just going to talk about what is an influencer? What do they do? Where can you find them? Do they have a background in science? Do they not? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And the definition, more or less, of a fitness influencer is a person who promotes an active and healthy lifestyle by offering their advice to their followers and support. And according to Insider Blog, living a healthy and active lifestyle has never been cooler. And a lot of it has to do to the rise of the fitness influencer. There are multiple different platforms we can find these influencers are, being YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, health types of magazines. So Rebecca, have you followed any fitness influencer? If so, on what platform? How long have you been following an influencer for? What are your thoughts?
Shameless plug. Follow Becky Arfit. You can actually see the media video of this platform on YouTube, but I follow many fitness influencers on YouTube. The gram, especially booty. I see a lot of booty influencers. TikTok. Whoa. I know Whitney Simmons is on TikTok. I don't really dabble too much into Facebook. And I've seen a lot of magazines which they're on.
And I have been following influencers now for about 4 years on Instagram because I didn't have an Instagram until much later on in life. And I actually have one now, and I follow a lot of the fitness influencers, probably more than I did in my earlier days, but our second podcast will go into that slightly more, so stay tuned for that. So Rebecca and I have broken down the different types of influencers into 6 different categories, and we will go into a little bit more about what the category is and who we believe represents this category the best. So let's just go ahead and start it off. I will start off the first one with the category of science-backed fitness influencers. And this one, these type of people have either a background in science or registered dietitians, they're personal trainers, and so they have a backing in what they are speaking of on their platform. And I believe the best person to represent this is Stephanie Buttermore. She got her doctorate in cancer biology in Florida, and she has right underneath 1 million subscribers. Her most viewed video is a 10,000 calorie challenge for a girl, which I personally don't know if I could do. Could you do that, Rebecca?
Wow. I mean, maybe some late Friday nights down in Athens.
Well, maybe. I don't know. That sounds like a stomach ache to me. Stephanie does have a couple of brand deals. So I know she has an affiliate link with PE Science, and she's been known to be an athletic model for the Canadian athletic clothing line Rise. And she's the most famous for, at the beginning, her cheat day meals, but now actually it's more of her all-in journey and just the science she brings to a wider audience. I have a very positive outlook to her channel. But Rebecca, have you seen or viewed any of Stephanie Buttermore's channel? Do you believe that she fits the category of scientific background well?
Yeah, funny story. In one of my classes, educational nutrition methods, the TA and I actually really bonded over Stephanie Buttermore. It was super cool. We talked about her cheat days and made us very hungry. But yeah, she is one of the influencers that I turn to when I have a misunderstanding or don't really understand these long research papers, aka what I think Sam is writing. Just because some of the jargon is like, I don't know. And I try to Google it, and Google's like, I don't know. So she usually makes a lot of these topics. I know that I find a keen interest in women's health. And Stephanie Buttermore covered HA, hypothalamic amenorrhea. Excuse me if I'm not saying it right. But she covered it, and so it broke it down, and I was like, wow. But we can talk about HA on a different podcast because a lot of these influencers has either experienced symptoms have it, recovered from it, but that is a whole nother podcast. But she made that topic relatable or more understanding to me, and I go for her if I need some sciencey advice.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I believe she makes peer-reviewed publications extremely approachable. And before I came to grad school, I also was extremely intimidated by that type of science. But that's the type of science that we all should be turning to figure out what is healthy, what is good, how many reps and sets and drop sets and myo reps should we be doing. I believe personally she is a positive influence on the scientific fitness community. So that is our category of science-based, science background. So Rebecca, how about you discuss a little bit more of our second category?
Our second category, it's all about the holistic health, naturopath healing health, and I think a great representative is Sarah's Day or Sarah Stevenson's, but her last name's about to change because her and Curtis, aka Curdle, just got engaged about a couple of months ago, and she has over 1 million subscribers on her YouTube, and she's known for her hormonal acne and her journey and how she fixed it. Sarah's Day was also an influencer that I've researched and found from her HA experiences of her losing her period, and she got it back. So, which is super awesome, and it also motivated my little bit more research into women's health. She's known for her birth vlog because I guess her audience was very emotional and keen into her body and everything, and she walked us through. She's very good on just being like raw and like open with her audience. I know when I follow my influencers, I would love to see that because not every day do I wake up and I'm in the mood to work out, and she talks about that all the time. I really like her because she talks about nutritional things in her videos and what she eats, and it's okay to be hungry. She also partakes in intuitive eating, which I've been really interested in lately. I've actually am reading one of these books and watching all these videos about Abby Sharp on YouTube, and she talks a little bit more about intuitive eating, which is another podcast that we would love to delve into. And I just like how she incorporates a lot of things into her diet, as in spirulina, flax seeds, buckwheats, bikinis. But I also think that she pushes her brand a lot with this Topeka, which is an Australian brand, Health Lab, her protein balls. I think that she's very brand heavy, but if she's worked through these brands and it worked for her, I think that is awesome because there are so many supplements, so many brands out there, and how do I know that they work? I know that they're getting a income, but every single time she talks about that, she says, or she broadens and says, hey, like, I'm working with them. The one thing that I think is a little controversy with her is her Body Bloom, which is a probiotic supplement. Probiotics are already a controversial topic in the beginning, and I like how she doesn't really say the research behind it or what strain she uses. I wish she had a little bit more science back behind it, as incorporated something from Stephanie Buttermore. But enough besides that, I love everything that she preaches. She's a very positive person, but also influences saying that she's not always positive and she's a human herself. And Sam, have you heard of Sarah, or have you viewed some of her content lately?
Yes, so I used to watch Sarah's Day a couple of years ago, and I hadn't watched any episodes until preparing for this podcast. And I actually viewed Sarah before she had her first child, and you can definitely see how her channel has matured as she has through time. So I'm really respectful of that because we all change, we all mature. Our focuses when we're younger are different when we're older. She has a very positive outlook, especially when things are hard. Sometimes when I'm trapped inside my house, I don't want to hear any more negative. I watch Sarah's Day because she has such a positive, inspirational outlook on life in general. And to address your prebiotic probiotic controversy you're talking about before, I am pre and probiotics. Probiotic is a live culture. A prebiotic is anything to help support that live culture, like an oligosaccharide.
Oh, wow.
And so the reason why it's slightly controversial is you have to be able to take the active live culture, and it has to colonize the inside of your intestines for it to basically take up space, or microbial antagonisms, in order to aid the host, which is yourself. So if they colonize the gut properly or not is the controversy for that. And it would be interesting to see what type of strain she does use for her probiotic, and if there are any prebiotics in that supplement as well to complement their culture and their growth. But enough of microbial physics going on. Let's go ahead and talk about our next category, which is so health at all sizes and the body positive movement. I am a huge supporter of this category of fitness influencer, and I believe that we need to hear more from these voices. So being healthy, trying to be a little better than you were yesterday, that is their biggest kind of movement. And I believe who represents this the best is the content creator, Sierra Schultze. I'll be talking about both her main channel and her vlog chair, Sierra Schultze IRL. Her main channel has right over 1 million views, and it's most known for the do's and don'ts for curvy outfits. She's in her late 20s. She does have quite a lot of brand deals, but her most notable one is she is also a Hollister model. I personally like her vlog channels because she's like, I am not quite where I want to be healthy, but every day I'm trying harder to be healthy, to get myself healthy. No matter where I am with my headspace, I want to actively be better and actively work on being kind to myself in the process. So I believe she does a great job, and she's a really positive influence, especially for girls of younger ages who haven't quite found their body positivity quite yet. And it's something that I currently am also working on. So Rebecca, what are your views on Sierra?
First off, I really like her brand or her views that you can be beautiful at all sizes. Not everyone's going to be a size 0, and if you're a size 0, you're beautiful, and if you're not, that's okay. And I really like how she promotes that. And some of these brands, like, okay, like some of these clothes, I want to know what they look like, and like, what if my body's like hers? So I definitely can relate to her a lot. She's a model for Hollister, and I used to work for Hollister. And so I think that there should be more positive influences out there, and to love your body at any size you are, because that is your body. It helps you work out. Some of these mothers have kids, like, that's awesome. Like, your body does so much for you, and I think you should love your body at any size.
Yes, and I agree. You really should love your body at any size. Now, we realize that this topic is quite controversial, as with one other topic that we have in our listing, but we can talk about it a little bit more, maybe on our second episode of this podcast. I don't know, it's sounding like this podcast might turn into 3 episodes. There's so much to dive into when it comes to fitness culture and fitness influence. And that's why I'm so glad that we're doing this podcast, because if we are asking these questions, a lot of girls that we can relate to probably are as well.
Yeah. I know that they can, like, before we move on to our next fitness influencer, a lot of it is like diets. I tried so many diets, one right after another. What diet's the best for me, or even are diets even the best? What is keto diet? What's OMAD? What is intuitive eating? I know that we touched on a little bit of intuitive eating in the beginning. Hint, hint, shameless plug on Becky Fit. I'm going to have a new series, Just Talk with Becca, and I'm going to hit on intuitive eating and intuitive eating patterns. But yeah, I know that many girls, especially from school, they ask me. And so I think that this platform is awesome. So going on to our next category, the trendy category doesn't necessarily mean it's positive or negative. We can reach into that the next episode, but we thought that the best influencer to fit this category is Whitney Simmons. Many of you probably have known her. She has 2 cute little doggies, Navy and Indy, and she has just about 2 million subscribers on YouTube. And Sam and I have watched Whitney when she was, lower subscribers, when she talked about her health journey, about how she didn't get to continue her career as a collegiate cheerleader and how it devastated her and how she went through that and like a breakup and just how her dad was a positive influence to her. Get into the gym and just work on yourself. And her brand that's really stuck with me is just living a healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle has stuck with me because sometimes I do get frustrated at myself when I don't see any improvement in my body or just in my daily lifestyle, like over within a week. I just have to remember that it's a lifestyle and things don't happen things do happen over a time. And more happy topic, Booty Booty Booty. She is known for her most viewed video, which has gotten over 3 million likes. Wow, Sam, can you guess maybe what her most viewed video is?
A booty day workout?
Yes, it's grow and define your booty and legs, and it's a full workout, which is great. You can follow along with her. Speaking of the follow along workouts, she is awesome at displaying and posting videos of her follow along workouts where she shows you her form and how to do it. I know when I started my fitness journey, I didn't even know what a squat looked like. And if you go to Google, there's a lot of people who you can't really relate to, and you're like, I don't even know what a squat is. And so she breaks it down, which is awesome. That is why I like her. And Sam, why do you like Whitney, or why did you start to follow her?
So I started to follow Whitney Simmons when I first came to grad school, which was a little under 4 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. And I followed Whitney at the very beginning, probably more than I do now. She was definitely someone who sparked an interest in working out and having a personal fitness journey, as I didn't actually have that before. But also this was the time that I started Instagram, so I was in kind of like that novel phase of I didn't realize what a fitness influencer was, but I liked what she was doing. We had some similarities, so I started following her. So it's been a little while since I've watched one of her videos, but I know a lot of her content, that especially when her channel was a lot younger. All right, so the next category I would like to talk about is motivational slash controversial. So motivational fitness influencers, and we describe this as someone who has had a drastic difference in their journey, either going for someone who is, in his words, morbidly obese, someone who is a lot healthier, and it's just something that reaches the audience. Also, we follow this because of the category of controversy. So the channel is Obese Beast, and his first name is John. Now, John has right over 500,000 subscribers, and his most viewed video is his biggest insecurity is his loose skin, with over 10 million views, which is quite a lot. He has an affiliate link with BPN Supplements, and he is most famous for his extraordinary weight loss, which is 180 pounds, which is absolutely crazy, which is more than what I currently weigh. But also because of his controversy, how he views the fitness community and what other influencers are saying. I believe that John has a lot of great positive things out there, and I agree with most of what he says. So, Rebecca, I know you knew very little about Obese to Beast channel before we started this. So tell me about how your newer viewing of it and what do you believe about his channel?
Yeah, so I think that John Obese the Beast, one more thing, look how swole I am. I love that about his channel. But wow, first off, he lost 180 pounds. I would love to congratulate him because there's many controversial topics out there that people have a set point, which is, the weight that your body has, and it's very hard to lose. And that's why you see a lot of people that they maintain their weight. But wow, that is awesome that he's lost all that weight. And I just did a little bit of research on him. And I really like how he just explains from different point of view of his point of view versus other people. He can talk about being fit, and he also can talk about morbidly obese. And I think that is awesome to have two different standpoints. He, like you said, he's sponsored by BPN supplements, but he doesn't really push it. He doesn't say, take these supplements and this is what made me lose all this weight. No, he actually says that nutrition is the biggest part of his weight loss. And I love that, studying to be a dietitian. In one of his YouTube videos that he talked to the recent Biggest Loser, and he talked about how he first off started his fitness journey, or his journey was he cut out all sodas, he cut out all fast foods, and he was able to lose 80 pounds without going to the gym. And the one thing that really stuck to me, which what he said, was that weight loss is made in the kitchen and fitness is made in the gym. And you can work on one without achieving the other one, or you can work on both. And I think that is really great, because a lot of people might have some insecurities of, I may not look like the normal person or the right person that is allowed to go to the gym. And I think that anyone is allowed to go to the gym. And I think that no one should body shame or fat shame, because everyone is beautiful at every single size. And it's great that he has mentioned that. And so I really like his channel. I believe some of the things that he has said, and I think that he is one of the channels to go ahead and watch, if just to learn about just the whole fitness community. I really like what he represents, how he pushes nutrition over supplements.
I agree, and I believe, excuse me, I believe his biggest mantra is that being morbidly obese is not a death sentence, and that's something that is a positive message to display on his platform. With that being said, we have one more category of fitness influencer, and Rebecca, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
He is known for last set, best set. He is known for the fitness culture gym, and sponsored by Gymshark. He is a OG, Steve Cook. I chose him because I really don't know that much about the men's physique / men's fitness culture side, which I would love to know more about. I tend to watch girls because I can relate to them, and I just, but I chose him because I think that he's well-rounded. He is on The Biggest Loser as one of the trainers. He's known for bodybuilding.com. He is another men's physique. He's played collegiate football, college football, and so I think he is well-rounded. He's gone from the football side of being a student athlete to a physique competition and to a personal trainer, which I really like that he has a certification in personal training. That is awesome and great. He knows what he is talking about, and it's backed by, science and certification. I just really like him because I think he has a positive outlook on things. And the one thing that stuck out to me and why I started following him was he did this video where he ate a lot of food. I think it was the 10,000 calorie challenge. And the next day, his video was, can you out-train a bad diet? And I really love his fitness challenges, and so that really stuck to me, and I learned a lot from him. Like I said, he's an OG, and from my knowledge and research from him, I am so glad to further my education on the men's physique and the men's fitness influencer side.
Yeah, so I agree, and I believe that Steve Cook is very commercialized. He's extremely mainstream, probably the most mainstream person that we mentioned today. He probably is the oldest influencer who's been on the platform the longest. And I just remember a lot of his Gymshark clothing brands, and especially because he had a personal collab with Gymshark for his men line. And I believe that he is a good influence for different types of body types, being the older man category, older category. But anyway, Rebecca, so today we introduced what is a fitness influencer, and what platforms we can find them on, and the different types of categories. And so we have the more science background based, we have the health at all sizes positivity, we have the motivational controversy, we have the holistic approach to health and fitness, we have the more trendy side of the fitness world, and also the mainstream commercialized fitness influencers. And we talked about a lot of their subscribers, what they advertise, their main philosophy and goals. So if you were to wrap up this podcast, because remember, it is one of two, three, we'll see. So what are your final thoughts when it comes to the types of influencers we introduced today?
I love that the fitness community is well-rounded. There's not just one category, or it's not one size fits all. I think that you can get some knowledge and some education from each category that we chose from. And I just think overall that it's great that there are multiple categories and that it can relate to a lot of people. Just a motivation or motivational, what their motivation, what they're putting out. And overall, I think that it's great that the fitness community is well rounded.
I also agree with that. I think we did a very good job picking different people to represent the fitness community. One thing I have noticed a lot of people talk about is that the fitness influencers are cookie cutters of each other. And today, I hope we at least try to convince some of our audience today that that might be true if you look at one specific category, but there are multiple categories that we discussed, and everyone looks different and their views might be different as well. So that will wrap up our first part of a one of two series of fitness influencers. I want to thank the audience for listening to us if you made it this far, and we really do hope you're doing well. And we applaud the essential workers out there. Thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
So that is the second episode of Better with Becky, where life is just a little better with Becky
And Sammy.
and Sammy. And just consider subscribing. Alrighty, see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.